The topic of precious human life has been on my mind recently for a variety of reasons. I've been reading a few books about the prison system and the justice system in this country, trying to learn more, being not from this country. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many tales of sadness in these books. And yeah, stories of people who have committed very horrific crimes um, that, for various mental health reasons, don't seem to show regret or can connect with empathy for the victims that they've harmed. Some of the people in the book Dead Men Walking. Others who are very remorseful and regret what they have done. So both sides of the coin. But in either case, stories of how, due to circumstance and mental illness and a variety of other reasons, people have found themselves in company and on a track heading in the wrong direction. And while they have a human life, they are not utilizing it in a way that is creating happiness for themselves or others, or is contributing to society in a very full way. And then another book I've been reading called No Matter How Loud I Shout, documenting the story of one writer who went into the juvenile justice system and witnessed what was going on there. And he was holding workshops on writing with some of the people in juvenile hall and helping them to express their stories and use that as a kind of a healing medium for these people. And again, many stories of kids who would flourish and who do flourish when they are in supportive family environments, who are supported to go through school, and when they are affirmed that they are worthy human beings. And then they go into different situations where the family has drug, alcohol, abuse problems, and then they act up and they get involved in gangs and they commit crimes. And then we have situations of 11, 14, 16-year-olds being tried as adults and given life sentences when it doesn't need to be like that. Again and again, there's these stories of if things could be done differently, more social welfare, more support, it didn't have to turn out like that. And again, just stories of human lives, so much potential, and yet due to a variety of causes and conditions, they've received training to act in harmful ways. And then a few things arising in my family situation, also bringing to light various forms of suffering where, on one side of the family, a long-term alcoholic is again and again coming onto death's door. And his wife, through this, is becoming suicidal about it and phoning another family member and saying, if he goes, I go. And just seeing the havoc that is wreaking. And then on another side, another family member who is having, I think, at least a 30-year journey with some mental illness and just not willing to take the medication. And so going through these humps or there's periods where she goes and stays in a mental health space and takes medication and becomes good, and then goes home and then dives again and doesn't take the medication. And then now her daughters won't go home to see her because of the verbal abuse that they receive from her, and how it goes out to her husband and her son, and just so much sadness. Again, tales of, human life, and so much going on that the space to consider ethics and how to be of benefit is constricted through the vividness of their own suffering and the lack of tools to be able to work with it. And that's just the suffering of suffering. Reading some of reading snippets of news to keep myself touched into what's going on around the world, and on many of the news sites, there's pop-ups or ads about the celebrities that come up, and just seeing people that I've known for a long time in throughout their acting or music careers, and how they're aging and getting surgery, and the ways that they're trying to hold on so tight to their youth and to their beauty, and then what suffering that causes just through simply having a body that gets old, ages, gets sick, and will eventually die. Yeah, so seeing all that and having that percolating for quite a while, I'm just amazed. And then we find ourselves here. I find myself here. And then the space that there is, specifically in this monastery, with the support that we receive here, which is just beyond, to practice and have this space where, I'm not like some other monastics in the West. I'm not having to work a part-time job to be able to support myself, so that I can attend a study program or live at a Dharma center where the requisites aren't fully provided. Here we just have so much support where we can study, reflect, and meditate, and give so much back to the community as well. The interdependence of how we live here is very touching and very vivid, especially now that we are receiving our friends again, and we can have them come in these ceremonies that we have, of like the food offering ceremony and different things, and having people come with us to courses again and have that deep sharing of the Dharma. And just gratitude arising for having teachers, teachings, and tools to even share the snippet of don't believe everything that you think. Looking back before I met the Dharma, just the absence of an awareness. I don't have to believe everything that runs through my head. That when afflictions arise, I don't have to follow them. I don't have to feed them. That's not the one and only way that I can engage in this situation. So seeing this precious situation that we're in, and how vividly in contrast it is to so much that is happened and is happening, unfolding right throughout the world. The importance of refuge has arisen, because I don't know what I'll be able to achieve in this life in terms of realization. It seems irrelevant. It's like, if I can just keep coming back to refuge, if I can just take refuge again and again throughout the day, and day after day, and be able to like rejoice at having these tools where I can interpret the events going through my own life and the lives of others in the context of lamrim, precious human life, death and impermanence, suffering of human beings, karma, then I can be happy with that, and hope that at the time of death, my refuge will be so strong that it will just carry me through, so that never will I be separated from the Dharma and teachers to guide me on the path.